Since there is so much debate over these superhero movies, we should come out with the definitive ranking.
The couch potato star definitives.
That is in no way definitive because opinions, but so that's what we're going to do. We're going to, every time we review a superhero movie, we're going to put it on the list of all the other superhero movies we've reviewed.
The billboard.
Yes. We totally have a billboard here right outside our window.
It's just, we just throw superhero names up on it whenever we hire a dude to go put them up there.
We actually just throw like a dart with like Wesley Snipes' picture attached to it, and that'll be where Blade goes. Okay, so Blade is about a half vampire hunter in a trench coat and shades named Blade. He has a sword. Some might call it a blade. Anyway, some audience surrogate Dr. Lady gets bitten and has to deal with this whole new world of vampires and stuff while Blade battles Deacon Frost, who is out to fulfill an ancient vampire prophecy. There are vampires in this, Tim.
Is there?
Yeah, there are vampires in this.
It's like the only thing that's in this movie.
So what'd you think of Blade?
Blade was a glorious mess of a movie. It was weird.
It was better than I thought it would be.
It was better than I thought it would be, but there was some weird shit in this movie.
I think it starts out really well.
The club scene?
Reasonably well.
It's 90s as fuck, but yeah, I agree. You know what's
surprising? They just have some really unfortunate techno music going on during that whole
the whole movie in general. Every time there's like background music, I'm just like, yes, this is some 90s trance drum and bass nonsense, but there's a dude in this movie. So Blade shows up and this unfortunate dude has been brought to this club and he seems like kind of a douchebag. Dude was just giving me death flags like crazy. Somehow made it through that entire scene.
Yeah, basically it's a vampire club in the back of some meat processing facility. And I don't know, they have blood that comes from sprinklers. I thought that was pretty cool.
I did too.
Like, it made for a cool image. I think this action scene is probably the only one in the movie that really stands out to me for good reasons.
Yeah, I had some of the other ones stand out to me, but not for great reasons.
I like the exploding vampire heads later on.
It's so dumb, but yeah.
I mean, it was dumb, but it was cool.
I was cracking up about that. This was a cool little opening sequence. I'm convinced someone traveled to the future about 3 years, saw The Matrix, and then came back and wrote this movie.
Yeah, it seems like
the only thing that makes sense. This seems like one of the Matrix clones.
It seems like it's the it wants to be the movie The Matrix later on went to become.
Yeah, like they have the whole prophecy thing with Blade, and it's just this movie.
They have the fucking lobby scene.
Yeah,
in this movie.
And just all that, like, this movie feels like it's after The Matrix, and it's not, and that's crazy.
Yeah, especially just like the fact that just the way Blade's dressed, and I'm not sure. I don't know that they copied this because, like, it only came out a year later.
That's what I'm thinking too. Like, I don't think Matrix copied this movie. I just think they just happened to come out and be like very similar.
So where Blade and the Matrix copying, I guess, is the question now.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that this movie is probably, or the Matrix is probably why the Blade ended up getting so many sequels.
I don't know. I guess to make another Matrix comparison, it's not nearly as well directed as the Matrix is.
Oh, no, it is not.
Well, this one's directed by Stephen Norrington, who, yeah.
Yeah, I saw his name and I'm like, who?
I just think of the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean.
The Marine dude that doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's just a fantastically British name, Norrington.
Yeah. James Norrington. Why do I remember that?
I don't know. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff whooshing in front of the camera to be like stylish and stuff. And it's very in your face, and it's also very obviously meant to disguise cuts.
There's a fight scene at one point where there's a very bad CGI train.
Oh yeah.
And that fight scene is bad.
It gets hard to see sometimes.
I know.
Sometimes
what the hell is going on?
Yeah, and sometimes you just lose your sense of space, like where everybody is.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I'm like, that was the ending fight scene turns into some hilarious nonsense, but that is just a mess. Like that probably is one of the worst action scenes I've seen. Period. Like no joke. Like that was poorly directed.
Parts of the movie in general are okay. Like Wesley Snipes can hold his own at points. So like
Yes.
you actually do see him doing actual choreography. So
And
that's good.
Chris Christopherson is fine.
Chris
But
Christopherson might be the best part of this movie.
he probably
Other
is.
than
Yes.
some of the really bizarre one-liners.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But yeah, it's just man, that CGI train that stuck out to me so bad. It's like the hell is happening?
There's not a ton of CGI in this movie, but what CGI there is interesting.
The flying bone skeletons.
It's maybe not fair to compare to like criticize this because it's 1998, but
Oh man, it looks it.
yeah, like the blood in the final fight where it is just so it.
Yeah, it's oh man, this movie looks disgusting.
There is a pretty good scene where a vampire is taken out in the sun and he just like gets his skin burnt off like in a more graphic Raiders of the Lost Ark fashion. And that one's actually fine.
Yeah, there's a few. Again, there's parts of this movie that are all right, and then just parts that are just fucking bizarre. Like the fat vampire, like underground.
Oh yeah, and then they just like torture him, and that was kind of messed up.
Yeah, I'm just like the fuck. Like you just show the dude, and like they find this guy in a room, and he immediately just farts. And this was an otherwise pretty serious moment, and then they're just torturing him, and I'm like, really? Why?
And then they just kind of kill him for like laughs and like evil vampire, but still that was kind of messed up.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
It was just some fat dude just kind of chilling out down here.
I think that's just kind of an issue with David S. Goyer's writing in general, where I don't know, a lot of things that he writes just come across as mean-spirited a little bit.
Yes, and by the way, when we say fat, I'm not talking about just some like overweight dude. This guy is like
literally the whole can't move.
Yeah,
fat.
like this is like 500-pound dude in the basement fat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, the girl is the one who tortures him.
Yeah, it's not Blade. It's the girl is just burning this guy alive.
I mean, I get that she probably is angry at vampires for them making her into a vampire, but
it just
still
it comes off as just really fucked up.
Yeah, she's also not much of a character.
Yeah, she is audience surrogate character to like a T.
They forego the origin story in this movie, but I guess the trade-off is that they do the whole newcomer on the scene thing.
Yeah, we get the whole, oh, you don't know this world. Let me explain the world to you.
I think Hellboy did that well, but like with Blade, the entire story, I imagine this wasn't any less cliched in 1998 with the prophecy and stuff.
I don't think so either.
But yeah, the girl, she doesn't have much of a character. She's very boring, and like there's supposed to be this looming threat of her wanting to cure her eventual vampirism because they tell her that it's bad, but they never really do a good job of building up why that would be bad.
Yeah, we don't really know why it's bad. Actually, like, becoming a vampire, except for the whole wanting to drink blood thing, seems like a pretty decent.
Yeah, they all seem pretty normal.
Yeah, like you get superpowers.
I mean, they're all like kind of evil and they have that weird depraved sex shit going on because that's what vampires tend to do and stuff like this. But they don't do a good job of selling why there's like a race against the clock there.
Yeah, it's like, oh, she turns into a vampire. Oh, damn, she'll get like super strength or something. Like, I guess he can't walk. She won't be able to go in the sun. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a lot of negatives.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that big of a deal.
But yeah, let's talk about Blade.
Okay.
So I like Wesley Snipes.
Me
even
too.
If he might be crazy.
Yeah, I've heard, but dude seems okay in this movie.
There was something weird going on with his character though, because I felt like he was very hard to pin down.
I don't know because I was getting that too. Like I couldn't tell if this is like anti-hero or
Well, he seemed like he was supposed to be. Sometimes he was super serious.
and then sometimes yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about now because yeah, you'd have like the scenes where he seems like super serious Blade, and then someone like shoots at him, like a police officer shoots at him, and he turns around, he's like, "Motherfucker, are you kidding me?" And it's
Yeah,
like,
and
what the what? It's like, where did that come from?
I like that Blade more. Like
Yeah,
I
me
like
too.
him being cheeky and wisecracking and saying some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Yeah,
And which is a great line, by the way.
I know I enjoyed that too, but it also I
He's a
don't
thinker a
know.
little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know like what they were going for too because he does for the majority of the movie he seems like a serious dude, and then just randomly he just busts out a wisecrack.
Yeah, like in the opening fight scene, he's super serious vampire killer man, but then sometimes he smiles and like looks like fuck all you people and smiles about it, and it's really jarring. It feels like there's two characters almost.
Yeah, like it's they didn't know how to write him.
I don't know if Wesley Snipes was trying to make him come across as tortured, but didn't know how to make that fit with his other characterization. So he just came across as really grim, like he was playing somebody else almost.
Yeah,
So I don't know. It was, but I mean, he was fine.
for the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
I never had a problem with his acting.
The world you live in is just a sugar coated topping.
Yes. So there were some weird moments in this movie. His mom, his whole origin story. His Blade was born. His mom was bit when she was pregnant, so Blade was a normal human baby until he was born, and then ended up with vampire powers. But he can like go outside, and he's kind of a hybrid mix. And it turns out his mom is still alive and just pretty much the lover of the main villain, and so the main villain is kind of his dad.
Yeah.
And it feels super silly.
It feels out of nowhere,
Yeah,
honestly.
he just said mom.
It frustrates me because it kind of makes sense, but it also just feels really forced.
Yeah, because that's kind of what I was. Yeah, like it doesn't not work, but it doesn't work.
I don't know. It's very silly, but I kind of appreciated it for that because that was like the only crazy wrench that they threw into the otherwise really generic story.
Yeah, I just don't
So,
know.
I mean, I don't hate it, I guess.
But it did extend this otherwise 2-hour movie. And then
Yeah, this movie, the second act just kind of stops moving forward at a certain point. It takes a long time to get where it needs to go.
the pacing doesn't help. Like again, you have that weird like the dude's like getting the main villain is like fulfilling the prophecy and getting like these crazy blood powers, and you have Blade just moving so fucking slow. Like he keeps cutting away to Blade like doing shit, and it's like Blade, hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, it was.
Like, you could probably stop this if you weren't fucking around.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of the, like I said, some of the action's okay, but the majority of it just feels very, I don't know, by the numbers, I guess.
Yeah, again, that opening sequence is really good. The train scene's a mess, and then
it's not. It doesn't stop being watchable, I would say.
Yeah, it gets close. The last kind of section of the movie, you get some really humorous shit. There's a part where he's fighting some villain or some like random goon, and he's like kicking at him, and the dude's kicking back, and they keep missing, and it's happening in just really fast pace, and it feels like it's supposed to look cool, but it just looks super, just like wow, you guys both suck.
I actually kind of thought the action kind of got worse as the movie went along.
Yeah, as weird as that was kind of what I was at too. I was just there was the part where he finished killing all the goons, gets his sword back, and then the main villain's just kind of like, "Hey, let's duel."
What do you think of the main villain, by the way?
Frost, or I don't know his first name, Deacon Frost is all right. Dude seems super 90s.
He seems like kind of a twerp. Like
he does. Like he just seems like some dude that just got way too big.
I feel like in another movie, that actor Steven Dorff. Also, I don't know what he's famous for, by the way, to get second billing or whatever. But
yeah.
Anyway, he feels like he would be playing Donald Logue's part like of the henchman who got fucked up by the train.
Yeah, yeah.
He looks like he would be that guy. The only difference is that they did his hair up different and he has better clothes on, so now he's the villain.
Yeah, because, yeah, he felt like he didn't feel like the villain. He felt like a henchman. Like, that would totally be a henchman. When I first saw him, I thought he was a henchman.
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of thought that too.
Like, I thought it was going to be one of the Vampire Council that was going to be, like, one of the main villains, and it just wasn't that.
They should have made Udo Kier the villain, the guy who got burned in the sun.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, that dude was cool.
He seemed like he would have been a better villain
than henchman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically. Like, I don't know. He just seemed like some punk, you know? So I don't know. I didn't like him as a villain. Any lingering thoughts on Blade?
Not really.
It's kind of weird that they used garlic. Like, garlic is kind of the thing that most vampire stuff pretends isn't a thing.
Yeah, and that was like a major deal in this one, and crosses weren't. Like, yeah, I'm sure it was some comic book stuff, but yeah.
I get it that I think they were removing the religious context from vampires, but it's still weird. Like, garlic is kind of silly in a way. So, he's like, I got these bullets filled with garlic
or the mace.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, heading into the feedback loop where we talk / complain about what other people think of this movie. I don't know. Do you think people look back fondly on Blade? I think they kind of do.
Do people look back on Blade?
That's true. I think the people who look back on Blade look back semi-fondly on Blade. And I mean, I guess I can see why. Like, I think it's passable.
Yeah, I mean, at the time I could see this not being horrible. It aged terribly.
Yeah, just I think at a certain point, superhero movies upgraded to being passable generally.
Yeah,
so I guess it's kind of notable for being one of the better ones around that time period when you had like Steel and shit like that, I guess.
Yeah, I could see like not wanting because there was a pretty big around this time was I think Batman and Robin too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could imagine being like, oh, one that's not completely awful.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It is aged terribly, especially compared to the stuff we have now. This apparently has a 54% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it needs to be that high at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against watching this on TV, but like it is pretty long for what it is. It's very generic. It really only has that opening fight scene, I think. Some of Wesley Snipes' lines are fun, but
I don't think, hey, well, do you want to watch Blade is ever going to be something I will say again.
No. We should watch Blade 2, though.
We should watch Blade 2.
We should watch all the Blades.
That's going to happen.
Because I'm kind of interested now to see where all this went for some reason.
No, it's going to happen. We're going to watch this whole trilogy, but...
Okay, so what would you rate this movie, Tim,
this
on a scale of a gross sprouted potato to mashed potatoes and gravy?
I'm giving this a potato salad.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Is that what you're feeling too? This doesn't deserve potato chips, man.
Yeah, I mean... This is it's probably in the middle between those probably, but I guess I'd lean more toward potato salad because I feel that though it's passable, it's still kind of bad.
It's watchable, but there's too many scenes in this movie that it's just like, what the fuck? Why would you do that?
Yeah, if they cut it down a little more, I think, and I actually read that this movie was originally 140 minutes, and I can't fucking imagine
Oh, God,
that.
Why? What would you add?
Yeah, it's like this movie already goes nowhere for like 30 minutes. What did you do?
This movie needs to be cut down by like 20.
I think there is enough bad stuff here to not give it potato chips, which would be our middling score, I guess.
Yeah, I would not don't watch this movie. There's better stuff to watch.
I mean, I wouldn't say don't go out of your way to watch this movie, but
if it's laying around or if it's on TV, sure.
if the opportunity presents itself to you, then maybe.
But just don't go rent this movie. Don't go buy it. Don't do that. It's not necessary. It's not that good of a movie. You're not missing out. Just go watch The Matrix.
Yeah. Basically, you should watch The Matrix instead of this. So we have reviewed 3 superhero movies on this channel.
Count them.
Before we changed our format. They are Man of Steel, the new Fantastic Four movie, Fantastic Four 2015, I guess you could call it, and
the original Fantastic Four.
Not the original, but the one from 2004, and has Jessica Alba in it.
So where does this go in the grand ranking of our superhero movies?
Well, what is the grand ranking of our superhero movies, first of all?
Oh, man, I don't know where I would put the 2 Fantastic Four movies. I'm assuming, did we agree on the 2004 one was better than the 2015 one?
Yeah, I think we agreed on that, just because the 2015 one feels like half a movie.
Yeah. So for this, I guess I would rank it below Man of Steel.
Yeah, Man of Steel, so far the best superhero movie we've watched.
Congratulations, Man of Steel.
Congratulations, David S. Goyer. You improved after about a decade or so, but not by a lot.
Not by a lot at all. If this was like significant, if this was a little bit better, it might have beaten that movie.
You can kind of see the line between the two a little bit, which is interesting.
Yeah, you can.
But yeah, I don't know. Blade, not a great movie. Man of Steel, also not a great movie. But I think whereas Blade has some kind of shitty action scenes, I think Man of Steel you can appreciate for its action scenes.
Yeah, this movie, there's not much you can't appreciate.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
There's a few things here and there, and none of the bad things get really bad except just, man, that train scene. I will be ripping on that for forever now. Like, that was... God,
I had no idea Donald Logue was in this movie, and it makes me sad a little bit.
Yeah, same. Yeah, no, just go watch that train scene. Just know my pain.
That first fight scene is probably somewhere on YouTube, and you could probably watch that instead of Blade.
Yeah, probably. That's about all you need to know about Blade.
It might give you the urge to watch the rest of the movie.
Don't. That peaks.
Fight that urge.
Yeah,
it peaks very, very fucking early.
Man.
All right. It doesn't have Chris Christopherson in it, so.
Yeah, I guess it peaks with Chris Christopherson.
A little bit.
Okay.